Hello, I'm an anonymous software engineer masquerading as a cute Animoji. Today, I want to talk about what it's like to start as a software engineer on YouTube. Since I'm not sure exactly how much I'm allowed to share, I'm going to do my best to stay anonymous for now. So I just started at YouTube about a month ago, and I can see why this is many people's dream job. The perks are great, there's loads of free food, and many of my coworkers are both friendly and crazy smart. And also, it's YouTube. How freaking cool is that? So my first 2 days of work, I had Google orientation. If you didn't already know, YouTube is part of Google, so our first few days were a Google-wide orientation. I'd planned to take the shuttle bus to work, but the driver didn't let me on the G bus because my legal name on my ID didn't match my preferred name on my bus pass, so I had to take a Lyft instead. But whatever, it's fine. I still made it on time, but barely. I checked in, got my security photo taken, so this is the photo that goes on your badge, so make sure you look nice on the first day. Then I got my corp laptop, set up my account, and the whole process was super smooth, and it was obvious that the orientation pipeline was a well-oiled process. Then we had to sit through a long day of presentations, mostly about how awesome Google is and why you should be super proud to work here. I think I was expecting this orientation to be mostly new grads, but actually I was surprised at how many older industry hires there were. But I still managed to find a group of people around my age, and we quickly became friends. The second day was more of the same. After that, the group kind of split up by role. So the technical people had technical orientation for the rest of the week, learning internal best practices and how to use the internal tools and frameworks. As a returning intern, I didn't have to attend, but I did anyway, mostly to keep hanging out with my Noogler friends. I didn't actually meet my team until the Thursday of my first week. I joined a team meeting and had no idea what was going on. My manager introduced me to everyone, and I promptly forgot their names. Then I had lunch with them on Friday, and it was awkward because I'd already forgotten their names. Oops. Also, I'm generally a pretty awkward person to begin with, so I'm sure that didn't help much. But they seemed nice and friendly. So once I was done with orientation, I went to go sit at my desk. I sit between my manager and my team lead, which is kind of intimidating. But my team lead is also my mentor, and she's supposed to be the person I ask about anything, even things that I don't necessarily want to talk to my manager about. My team has an onboarding doc, so I followed it and basically just did a bunch of coding tutorials. I got a small starter bug to work on during my second week, and I managed to submit code within the next couple days. And I felt so good. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a real engineer now. And then it was back to learning how to use Google tools and coding tutorials and stuff like that. I've also been added to a bunch of meetings, and I was so lost and confused at first. There's so many acronyms and code names for projects, people giving updates on projects that I had no context for, and also I still didn't know their names yet, so yeah, that was still awkward. But I also didn't want to hijack the meeting by asking about it, so I tried to write down my questions and then ask them to my mentor and my manager later. About a month in, I'm actually feeling a lot more comfortable in these meetings, even though I still haven't said anything useful in them yet. But my manager's been giving me some high-level overview talks about what the different projects are and who's working on them and where they all fit in production, and this has been super helpful for me. I think the most stressful thing about onboarding is not having benchmarks for how you're doing. My manager's great. In our weekly one-on-ones, he asks me how I'm doing and answers any questions that I might have. But the thing is, I don't know how I'm doing. And I was so lost at first that I didn't even know what questions to ask to get less lost. So, I'm doing code labs and I'm looking at docs and stuff, but I don't know if I'm taking too long or if I'm reading relevant things. There's just no output to measure myself by, aside from that tiny little starter bug that I had. My manager is very reassuring, saying that I should take my time learning and that everyone feels overwhelmed when they first start, and that's okay, it'll get easier, And I think he's right, it has been getting easier, but I'm still putting a lot of stress on myself just because I'm comparing to myself to all of the established people around me. But yeah, I definitely feel like I'm settling in a bit more, but I also definitely still feel like I'm such a newbie, and I suspect I'll feel like that for a while longer. Okay, that's it for now. Is this where I do the YouTube thing of asking for likes and subscribes? So please like and subscribe. I'd love to hear about your experience starting a new job, and I'll see you next time. Bye!